It's a huge accomplishment, you know, and it took everybody here.
What drives a man to risk everything he has for a whisper of gold? For Parker Schnabel, it's not just about the money. It's about conquering the unconquerable. The legendary Widow's Cut, a mine shaft notorious for its instability and the fortunes it has swallowed, is his latest obsession.
It's a gamble that we're just going to have to take.
Everyone says it's a fool's errand, a death trap waiting to spring. But Parker believes he's found a clue, a secret hidden in old maps and forgotten stories that will lead him to a prize beyond anyone's wildest dreams. And we're going to show you exactly what he found. The $15 million bet. You see, for a guy like Parker Schnabel, a normal season just isn't enough. He's always pushing, always reaching for that next big score. And this time he set his sights on a piece of land that was the stuff of legends and nightmares. The Widow's Cut, they called it. A notoriously unstable mine shaft deep in the Klondike that had a nasty habit of swallowing machines and dreams whole. The old-timers in the Yukon, they'd tell you stories about it, whispers of fortunes lost and lives almost taken. Many people are crazy about the idea of a cursed mine, and this place was at the top of the list. But Parker, he saw something different. He saw a legend waiting to be unearthed.
Good ground makes everything else just a minor detail. I will mine in if the ground's good.
Armed with high-tech gear and an unmatched determination, he was ready to prove everyone wrong and hit the jackpot. He'd put everything on the line, a $15 million bet that this was the season he'd not just break his own record, but shatter it into a million tiny pieces. The thing nobody tells you is that a bet that big comes with a risk to match. From day one, it was a disaster. Machines broke down, the ground was frozen solid, and the morale of the crew was at an all-time low. It was like the land itself was fighting back, trying to push them out. They were burning through cash at an alarming rate, $100,000 a day, with nothing to show for it but a mounting pile of debt and a whole lot of frustration. The pressure was immense. You could see it in Parker's eyes, the weight of it all pressing down on him. He'd made a promise to his crew, to his family, and to himself, and now it was all slipping through his fingers like fine silt in a sluice box. He could cut his losses, admit defeat, and walk away with his tail between his legs. Or he could push forward deeper into the unforgiving ground and risk losing everything. For Parker, there was only one choice, but a glimmer of hope was about to appear in the most unexpected way. A sign from the earth. Just when it seemed like all was lost, when the crew was on the brink of a full-blown mutiny, something incredible happened. It was one of those moments that makes you believe in miracles. A single, electrifying discovery that changed everything. It wasn't a massive pile of gold, not at first. It was something much rarer, much more special. A tree-shaped nugget, a perfect example of dendritic gold, a crystalline structure that looks like something out of a fairy tale.
It's nice to finally be on some ground and be finding some gold and have a good crew. A lot's gone into this, and it's really cool to see it working out.
You see, gold in its natural state is usually found in small flakes or shapeless lumps. But this was a work of art, a masterpiece forged in the heart of the earth. The thing nobody tells you is that a find like this is more than just its weight in gold. It's a sign, a message from the ground that you're in the right place, that you're on the verge of something big. For Parker and his crew, it was like a shot of adrenaline to the heart. The mood in the camp shifted instantly. The despair was replaced with a renewed sense of hope, a burning excitement that they were on the cusp of the discovery of a lifetime. It was a tangible piece of the dream they had been chasing, a solid gold reminder of why they were putting themselves through hell. This single nugget, worth maybe a few $1,000s, was more valuable than any million-dollar cleanup. It was the spark that reignited the fire in their bellies. They knew with a certainty that you can't fake that they were close. The cursed ground had finally given them a taste of its treasure, a tantalizing glimpse of the riches that lay hidden beneath their feet. And now they were more determined than ever to claim it. They were going to tear that mountain apart, piece by piece if they had to, until they found the mother lode. But what they were about to find was bigger and more dangerous than they could have ever imagined. The $200,000 heartbreak. With their spirits lifted and their resolve hardened, the crew went back to work with a vengeance. They were no longer just going through the motions. They were on a mission. And then it happened. A discovery so massive, so mind-boggling that it instantly became the stuff of gold rush legend. It wasn't in the pay dirt, not in the usual places they looked. It was hidden inside a massive boulder, a monster of a rock that would have been discarded by any other crew. But something told them to take a closer look. And what they found inside was a sight to behold. 100-ounce solid gold chunk, a golden heart nestled in the stone. It was a single, breathtaking piece of raw, untamed wealth. The value? A cool $200,000. It was the kind of discovery that miners dream about, the kind of find that can make a season and secure a legacy. The celebration was epic. The whoops and hollers echoed through the valley. They had done it. They had faced down the curse of the widow's cut and emerged victorious.
It's a huge accomplishment, you know? And it took everybody here. I just really want to thank you guys for the effort that you've put out.
But not all things are what they seem. In the midst of their triumph, disaster struck. The very thing that had brought them so much joy became the source of their greatest heartbreak. The massive gold chunk, so solid and eternal just moments before, proved to be fragile. It broke into smaller pieces, its majestic form shattered forever. The financial loss was significant, but it was the emotional blow that hit the hardest. Their greatest victory had, in an instant, become their most costly mistake. It was a brutal reminder of the unforgiving nature of the Klondike, a lesson learned in the most painful way possible, and as they picked up the pieces of their broken dream, they had no idea that an even bigger secret was waiting to be revealed. $65 million secret. The crew was reeling from the loss of the 100-ounce nugget. The thrill of the discovery had been replaced by a bitter taste of disappointment. But Parker, he wasn't ready to give up. He had a feeling, a deep-seated intuition, that there was more to the widow's cut than met the eye.
We're in a situation where there's a ton of work and unrealistic expectations from a boss that likes to have unrealistic expectations.
And that's when he stumbled upon it, a bizarre, ancient map that would change the course of his life forever. It was hidden in an old, forgotten corner of the claim, a relic from a bygone era of gold mining, and it pointed to a place they had overlooked, a forgotten shaft that had been sealed for decades. Many people are crazy about the idea of a lost treasure map, and for Parker, this was the real deal. He ignored the warnings of his crew, the whispers of the curse, and dove headfirst into the dangerous, forgotten shaft. The story everyone thinks they know is that he found gold. The real story is that he found a $65 million jackpot, an underground cavern filled with gold, a hidden chamber that had been waiting for a century to be discovered. It was a find that defied all logic, a treasure that was beyond their wildest dreams. The thing nobody tells you is that a discovery of this magnitude comes with its own set of problems. The $65 million question was, how did they get it out? The shaft was unstable, the ground was treacherous, and the risk of a cave-in was a constant threat. It was a race against time, a high-stakes game of chess with the mountain itself. Every scoop of the excavator, every rumble of the earth was a reminder that their lives were hanging by a thread. But the lure of the gold was too strong to resist. They were on the verge of the biggest payday in gold rush history, and they weren't going to let anything stand in their way. But is this massive discovery, this $65 million jackpot, even real? The power of a good story. We've been on a wild ride, a roller coaster of hope and despair, of triumph and heartbreak. We've talked about cursed mines, ancient maps, and a $65 million jackpot. It's a story that's almost too good to be true. And maybe, just maybe, that's because it is. You see, the world of reality television is a funny thing. It's a world where stories are crafted, where drama is manufactured, and where a good narrative is more valuable than a pile of gold.
It's nice to finally be on some ground and be finding some gold and have a good crew. A lot's gone into this, and it's really cool to see it working out.
The thing is, are we, the viewers, getting the whole story? Or are we just seeing the carefully edited highlights, the moments that are designed to keep us on the edge of our seats? Is it possible that the curse of the widow's cut is just a convenient excuse for the everyday challenges of mining? Is the ancient map just a clever bit of storytelling? And is that $65 million jackpot more of a season total, a cumulative figure than a single earth-shattering discovery? Many people are crazy about the idea of an overnight success, but the reality is often a slow, grinding process. But let's push this even deeper into the rabbit hole. The thing nobody talks about, the theory whispered in the corners of the internet, is whether these perfectly timed discoveries are even 100% real. Think about it. Just when morale is at its lowest, a 1 in a million dendritic gold nugget appears. Just as the season hangs in the balance, a massive 100-ounce chunk of gold is found in a random boulder. It's almost too perfect, like a plot twist in a Hollywood movie. Could a producer, seeing the need for a dramatic turning point, have subtly salted the mine? It's a controversial thought, but in a multi-million-dollar production, a few $1,000s of prop gold might be seen as a worthy investment to save a storyline. And what about the drama between the crew members? The fights, the breakdowns, the constant threat of mutiny. It's compelling stuff, but how much of it is real and how much is amplified for the camera?
I don't know if guys are in a rush to go home or whatever, but if anybody wants to go home, they can go home right now.
A simple disagreement over a repair can be edited to look like a friendship-ending feud. The natural stress of the job can be portrayed as a full-blown mental collapse. Are we watching a documentary, or are we watching a carefully constructed play where the miners are actors playing a version of themselves? Let's explore another wild possibility. The show portrays Parker as the ultimate gambler, a young maverick betting his entire fortune on a hunch. But what if he's not the one taking all the risk? What if there's a silent partner, a mysterious, deep-pocketed investor working in the shadows? Someone who provides the massive $15 million stake, making these audacious gambles possible. If that were true, the entire narrative of the lone wolf risking it all would be a carefully crafted illusion. The real game wouldn't be about finding gold, but about providing a return on investment for a hidden player we never get to see. Or maybe the secret isn't financial, but technological. Parker's ability to find gold is legendary, often attributed to instinct, to reading the ground. But what if he has a secret weapon? What if he's using experimental ground-penetrating radar or satellite imaging technology that gives him an unfair advantage? A piece of tech so advanced or proprietary that the show deliberately keeps it off camera to protect the secret and maintain the illusion of old-fashioned gut instinct mining. His biggest discovery then wouldn't be gold, but a technological loophole in the hunt for it. It's a tangled web. Are we missing a key detail? Absolutely. We're likely missing hundreds of them. The truth, as they say, is often stranger than fiction, and in the case of Gold Rush, it's also a lot more complicated. Parker Schnabel's biggest discovery may not be a single massive nugget, but the discovery of how to mine the audience's attention for a different kind of gold. The real motherlode isn't buried in the Klondike permafrost, it's the story itself, and we are the ones paying for it with our views. So what do you think? Is Parker Schnabel a master storyteller or the luckiest miner in the Klondike? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that dig beneath the surface.